Hey guys, Saion Gupta here, founder of 10x for the Kids and an official Guinness record holder for the youngest computer programmer in the world. And today we are going to be solving a difficult Google interview question. Alright, let's start. So what we are given over here, we are given two arrays, right? And each array, the blocks array is basically an array of objects, and each object is a block of the street, right? So like you have a street, right, and in that you have all those blocks, and each block has one apartment. What you want to do, you want to move into a new apartment, and there's some criteria, right, following which you will select a new apartment, right? So all the apartments are equally good, but there is one criteria that you will follow to choose your apartment. That is that whatever are your required buildings. So for example, gym, school and store over here are your required buildings, right? So according to the location of these buildings, you will choose an apartment. What location? So for example, you want to choose the first apartment, right? So school is already present over there, so the distance to school will take 0. Gym is not present, but gym is present in the block after, so distance to gym is 1. And store is not present, store is 4 blocks away, so distance to store is 4, right? So the total the maximum distance among all of these is 4, right, to the store, right? So the store's distance is the maximum distance. So from block 1, if you want to the maximum distance to a required building is 4. In the second block, gym is present, school is just 1 block below or above, so that's the distance 1, but store is 3 blocks away, so the maximum distance over here will be 3. Over here, gym is present, school is present, but store is 2 blocks away, so the maximum distance is 2. Over here, the school is present, gym is just 1 block away, and store is 1 block away, so the maximum distance will be 1. And over here, gym is not present, school is present, store is present, gym is not present, gym is 2 blocks away, so the maximum distance will be 2. So over here, for this block, the maximum distance was 4, for this it was maximum distance 3, for this it was 2, for this it was 1, and for this it was 2, right? So overall, the maximum distance was the least over here for this block, right? So this will be the block in which we'll take our house, and this is how we want to find our desired home, right? So let's just start with this problem statement. Now we will create a function find apartment, right, and we are just going to call it below find apartment, right? And we are just, because this will return a value, we are just going to log out whatever value it returns. Inside this function find apartment, we are going to create a variable distances is equals to empty list. Let's say max distances, because over here the maximum distance was 4, over here it was 3, over here it was 2, over here it was 1, and over here it was 2, right? So the max distances we will find out. Next, we are going to create a variable myArray, and what this will contain, this will have a n number of subarrays, right? So whatever is the length of requirements, that will be the length of my AR. Now my AR requirements contains 3 strings, so my AR will contain 3 arrays, right? If requirements contained 4 strings, then my AR would contain 4 arrays, but we don't know the number of strings that are there in requirements, so we are just going to leave it as an empty array for now. Next, we are going to loop for variable j is equals to 0, j less than requirements dot length and j plus plus. So what we are doing, we are looping on our requirements, right? And basically we are looping on our requirements array, and we are saying my array dot push an empty array, right? So we are pushing an empty array inside of my array, right? So for every string that was present over here, for that we are pushing an array. So for every string there's an array inside my array. So the first array will be for gym, the second array will be for school, and the third array will be for store, right? Next, what we are going to do, we are going to say for variable z is equal to 0, z less than blocks dot length and z plus plus. So we are looping on all our houses, right? And we are checking if blocks z requires j. Basically what this is doing, it is checking that if we are checking for gym, so if gym is present in the current block, then what should we do? In gym's array, we are going to push that block index, right? So if gym is present in the current block, so in the gym's array we are going to push the current block's index, right? This was our first for loop. Now my AR will be something like this. Let's just comment out this. My AR will be something like this. So it will have 3 arrays, 1 2 3. In the first one is for gym, so gym is only present in this and this, so 1 and 2, so index 1 and 2. Next is for school. School is present over here, it is present over here, here and here, so it's present in 0 2 3 4. So school is present in 0 2 3 4, and store is only present on 4. Store is only present on 4. So this is our my AR right now. Next what we are going to do, let's just keep this commented over here so that it is easier for us to visualize what we are doing. Next what we are going to do, we are going to loop on blocks once again. So we are going to loop on our blocks once again, and we are going to say distance is equal to 0. So over here in distance variable, we are going to find a maximum distance for the current block. Later we are going to push it to max distances. Next we are going to say for variable j is equals to 0, j is less than requirements dot length and j plus plus. So for variable j is equals to 0, j less than requirements dot length and j plus plus. So we are looping on our requirements. So first it will loop on gym, then it will go on to school, and then it will go on to store, right? Next we are going to say if our current block includes the current requirement. So if the current block includes our current requirement, then do nothing. As we are finding the max distance, we don't want to see what is closest or what is there with us, close to us. We have to find the max distance, which is the most far away, which requirement is the furthest away from us, that we want to find out. So else will contain our logic, and we're going to say for variable m is equals to 0, m is less than my arj dot length and m plus plus. So what we are doing, we are creating a variable m, we are looping, we are basically, if we are checking for gym, so we are looping on gym's array, right? So we are basically gym's corresponding array is this. So if our current value is gym, so we are looping on gym's array. If we are on school, then we will be looping on school's array, and if we are on store, then we will be looping on store's array. Right now we are on gym, so we are looping on this array, right? And in this, what we are going to do, we are going to create a variable L that is equals to infinity, right? So our variable L is infinity. Now what we want to do, if math dot abs, so if the absolute value of z minus my ar j m is equals, or let's say less than L, then L is equals to this. So what we are doing over here, we have L is equals to infinity, then we are saying if math dot absolute, so we are finding the distance, between our current block index, right, and the building, right? So basically our gym is first present on the first indexed block, so that is this block. So gym is present over here, and if we are, for example, looping on the 0th block, that is over here, so 0, that is z is 0, and my array jm will be 1, right? So 1 is where the gym is. So we first want to find the closest gym to us, right? Because over here there's no point saying that the maximum distance from here is like 2, right? Because the closest gym is one block away, right? Closest gym is 1 block away, right? So we want to find the closest gym, right? So the closest gym we are getting over here -1, z is 0, my array j is this, and m, its m element is this, right? So the closest gym, when we do math dot absolute is basically changing negative values into positive. So when we say z minus my array jm, that is giving us -1, and the math dot absolute is basically converting it into a positive value, that is +1. And then we are checking if it is less than L, right? So L is infinity, so yes, it is less than L, so L is equals to math dot absolute, that value, right? Now why are we doing this? Because there's also a second gym present on this block, right? So over here in this block there's the second gym present, and when we do z minus 2, so that's 0 minus 2 will give us -2, right? And if there is a closer gym to our block, then why should we find the maximum distance to a further gym, right? We are finding the distance to the closest building. So the closest gym is 1 block away, the school is already there in the block, the closest store is 4 blocks away, right? So that we are checking, and the maximum value among these, so gym is the closest gym is 1 block away, closest store is 4 blocks away, and school is already there in the block. So maximum value between these values is 4, right? And that we want to check that for whichever block this maximum value is the least, that block will be the block in which there will be our house, right? So L is equal to math dot absolute, whatever value this gave over here, that so gym is 1 block away. Next, when it loops again and it says L is equal to infinity, then it will say it will still say L is equals to 2, right? But after this loop we are checking if L L is greater than distance. So over here this code is actually not right, because we will need a variable, for example abc, to be a list, right, or array you can say, and we are going to say abc dot push L, right, and or we don't need this, we are just going to set L equals to infinity outside. Why? Because when L will be equals to infinity and we are not doing it infinity again and again, so in the start it's infinity, then we check we are on the first gem, right? So basically the first gem is one block away, so 1 is less than infinity, so it appends 1, so basically it sets the value of L to 1, that the gem is 1 block away, right? Next, when it checks for the second gem that is 2 blocks away, then it won't change the value of L, because that's a further gem, but we want to find the closest gem, right? So L will still remain to be 1. Then we are checking if L is greater than distance. So distance is basically our furthest distance for the block, that will be our store's distance. So if gem's distance right now is greater than 0, that is true, then distance is equals to L, right? But then when we reach for the stores loop, then it will check 4 will be greater than basically 1 that we have already set, so distance value will be changed to 4 when we basically reach to the checking of the store, right, to the checking of the closest store. So the nearest store is 4 blocks away, and that is greater than the nearest gem. Nearest gem was 1 block away, nearest school was in the same block, and nearest store is in 4 blocks away, so distance will become 4 when we come to the checking of the store. In the end, the maximum distance will be pushed in the distances array, right? So the maximum distance will be pushed inside the distances array, and then what we return after all of that looping, we just return distances. So all the we have max distances, so the maximum distances, so the maximum distances we have to travel, dot index of math dot min max dot max distances. So whatever are the maximum distances, right, basically this is the spread operator. This basically like mat.min does not accept an array, it basically accepts separate elements, right? So dot will give mat.min the array elements like separate elements, right? So the minimum maximum distance, the minimum out of all the maximum distances, index, right? So the index of the minimum maximum distances is returned, right? So that is 3 index, right? And over here our apartment will be selected, so we get 3 is the index of this house, or basically block, right? So this is the correct answer. Now for example, we set a store over here, so let's say store true, then what should be the answer? Gem over here from here is 1 block away, store from over here is 1 block away, and for this also gem is 1 block away, store is 1 block away, but the first value will be this block, right? So our answer will be 0. Our answer is 0. If we say store to to be true over here and Jim to be true over here, then the answer should be 0. Our answer is 0, right? Very cool. So I will provide this code in the description if you like, in the comment section or in the description. I'll provide this code, and I hope you like me solving this Google interview question. Do try it yourself, and I'll meet you in the next one.